Today I will be bringing you a review of the Rosewill Blackhawk and Rosewill Blackhawk Ultra gaming cases. As you can see now, the Blackhawk Ultra is on the right and the regular Rosewill Blackhawk is on the left. Front panel connectors. On the regular version we have one USB 3.0, 4 USB 2.0, mic and headphone jack, power reset, and we have an external hot swap bay up at the top. It's the same exact layout on the Ultra. Mine's just a little less dustier. Okay, as far as the side go, this is height, much taller on the Ultra version back here. The rear on the regular Blackhawk, we have 3 grommeted water cooling outlets, I guess you could call them, and a 100 and I think that's 20 millimeter fan. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 expansion slots and a bottom mounted power supply, and it looks like we have 2 more smaller grommeted water cooling holes down there. On the Blackhawk Ultra, we have room, let me get that fan off. We have room to mount a second power supply up here. The light's kind of bad. I would have done this upstairs, but there's people up there, so I can't. Bottom power supply, top one if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 big water cooling grommets, a 140 millimeter fan in the back, and there are 10 expansion slots, which is nice. The top on here, it's pretty dusty. 2 140 millimeter fans, and on the Ultra, 2 200 millimeter fans. Over here we have room for a 120, and you can see it kind of right there a little bit, room for an 80. So overall the cases look similar other than their size. Here you go, here's a little length comparison. They're both at the exact same spot in the back. So that's it for really the outside. We'll go in the inside right now. Okay, so we have both cases open now, and let's take a look inside the regular version. So as you can see, a pair of 140 millimeter fans at the bottom, a pair at the top, a 120 in the back, and there are 2 more 140s up front there. So that's really it for how much fans this case can handle. It's not bad. That's 7 fans, plus you got 2 on the cooler. So it's pretty good airflow. As you can see inside, it's fairly crowded. Not really though. We took out that cage with the hard drive bays in it, so we really only need the top 2 because we have a mechanical hard drive and an SSD in here. But it's just a little crowded. You see cables, we could route them in the back. It does have room, but not really feasible with the connectors we need. So I don't know, it's a basic case on the inside really. It's got 4 525 bays, all of them are toolless. The drive bays are toolless, which is interesting because they're not on the Ultra actually, but I'll get into that after. But yeah, this is the front side. This is where all the magic happens. Single 6850 X6 1090T, obviously the Hyper 212. So now we'll take a look at the Ultra, which is my computer. A little bit cleaner right here. You see this big bundle of cables is going to my fan controller. I had those connected to the fans on my side, so just tuck those away for now. Still not perfect, but it's good enough. Got SLI 470s, 2500K, 16 gigs of RAM, which is why I'm holding in the cooler with rubber bands here, because RAM's too tall for the fan. Up at the top we have a couple 200 mils. The back we have a 140. The front we have 4 140s. 1.2 and then 1.2. 7 hard drives, 4 Velociraptors, couple 2 terabytes and a 750 for my games. A 525 optical disc drive, and then we have 3 other 525 bays. There's a lot of room to manage cables as well. We got a big grommet right there, a couple at the top. This is double lined. There's 2, 2, 2, and 1, and then there's 1 over there as well. Really just a lot of room to manage cables. It's really nice, you know, keeps things fairly tight, although, you know, these graphics card cables, not much you can do, they gotta go there. So, something to notice about the 3.5 inch bays. They are technically toolless in the sense that they slide in, but to actually attach the drive to the bay itself, you gotta screw it in those 4 holes. I think I have a screw in there already, yeah. You gotta screw it into those 4 holes. Unlike the regular one, well, I can't take it out because I just don't have any, but you can sort of see right there, you might not be able to see it. These actually bend apart. You slide the drive in and you bend them back in, and it's completely toolless. Like, you don't have to screw it into the bay thing at all, which is weird that they didn't do that for the Ultra version, but I don't know, I guess it adds more stability or whatever. Not that it matters. This thing is not going anywhere. You do not want to move this. But yeah, that's it for the front. The inside, I should say. Just give you a quick overview of them both. Alright, now we'll move on to behind the motherboard tray. Okay, so here you can see we have the side panels off both cases. And actually, let me see if I can get a little better light. There we go. Okay, this is the rear of the Blackhawk mid-tower. Pretty nice, you know, plenty of room. We got the 24 pin right here. It fits, you know, fits no problems really. Got all the cables kind of tied around the edges. Up there you can see we got the USB 3 cable. Goes into the back of the motherboard, because this one, USB 3, comes with a regular, like, USB plug that you'd plug into a regular port, while the Ultra has a regular, like, header, like you'd plug into a USB 2.0 header. So, little differences like that. Yeah, cables fit fine back here, 24 pin and everything, as you can see. You know, cable management's pretty tight on the back. Don't have to worry too much about not being able to fit cables if you've got a pretty big power supply or whatever. You know, it's nice. It's just a solid case. Over here we have the Ultra, which I'll flip on the front, I guess. Hopefully my cables don't fall out. I got those cables for my fan controller. And the Ultra, you can see it's like a rat's nest back here. I have, well, let's see, I got 8 or 9 places where SATA cables need to be plugged in. 7 of them my hard drives, 1 of them is my disk drive, and another one is right here, I believe, which is the top mounted hot swap bay. So it's a rat's nest. But yeah, there's my USB cable. I don't have a plug on my motherboard, but that's what it looks like. Yeah, so obviously the 24 pin fits back here. Yeah, I didn't even need to do any sort of good cable management really. I just need to make sure all the cables were plugged in and not being pulled too tight, and everything is going to fit no problem no matter what. You got basically, let's see, bigger than the crease right there, probably halfway between my this crease and that crease. You got plenty of room for everything. Still just 4 5 1/4 bays on both computers, which isn't a big deal because that allows for more 3 1/2 bays, which is what I needed. But I know, I was just hoping they could put like 5 so I could have a dual bay reservoir for water cooling, my optical drive, my fan controller, and maybe a second optical drive or a Blu-ray drive. But you know, I guess this is fine. It gets the job done. So I think that's it, other than the side panels, and I'm going to be doing a comparison of all these to my half 912 because there are some interesting features. So give me a second and I'll get that set up. Okay, so as you can see, I got my half 912 out. It's pretty similar in size. It's I think a little bit shorter in the back, just a little bit. That might actually just be this top bezel thing. And it is a little bit shorter in the top, although that might be, again, this top mesh bezel plastic thing. It's got that on the front, the top, and it sticks out the back a little bit. But something I noticed about the side panels is, let's see if I can show you. The side panel on the half 912 is very solid. It's not going to flop ever. It's not flimsy. While the side panel on the Blackhawk, it's flimsy. Both of them, the Blackhawk and the Blackhawk Ultra. It's very, very flimsy. Here's a close-up, or you know, as close as I can get. It's got a little tinted window thing. It's got room for a 120 that will interfere with big coolers like the 212. That's why it's not installed. Here is the side panel of the Blackhawk Ultra. It's got room for 9 120mm fans. I have it in configuration with 5 120s and a 200 because those are the fans I had, but you can put 3, 3, 3, 3. And I think you can even, I think it's mountable with a 360 by 360 rad, which is cool, but you know, I don't think I'd do it because that'd be intake directly onto your computer or exhaust directly out of your computer where you need air for everything else. But you could do it. It's nice. The side panel is still flimsy, but yeah, I don't know what happened. My half 912's got a nice solid side panel, but this one doesn't. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you for watching my review on the Rosewill Blackhawk Ultra and Rosewill Blackhawk gaming cases. I haven't seen one on YouTube, so hopefully this will help people out. I definitely would recommend the Blackhawk if you are on a budget. It has all the good features of this, minus the USB 3 header, minus all the cooling options, but it's definitely a great budget case, just like the half 912. Both of them are good. But I got this one, the Ultra, on sale for 130 bucks from Newegg, so figured why not grab it. I needed an upgrade from the half 912. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Hope this helped you out.